Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. God bless you. God bless you for joining or tuning in today. My name is Prophet Emmanuel. You are live with me on Wisdom for Life. Wisdom for Life, as we do it always every Sunday at 9 p.m. Wisdom for Life. We come in and we deal with practical issues, nothing spiritual. Everything is very practical where we look at life, challenging things, or things that we can learn for our day to day life. So if you've just tuned in, let's share, let's invite everyone, tell everyone the prophet of God is live, tell everyone that we are ready to go into another session of Wisdom for Life. Today is episode 3. Today is episode 3. So let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's invite everyone. Let's keep sharing. Invite everyone. Invite everyone. We're waiting for everyone to come. Let's share. Let's invite. Let's share. Let's invite. Let's invite everyone. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Keep sharing. God bless you. God bless you for making it on another Sunday. Um, let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. We're gonna start shortly. We're gonna start shortly. Let's keep sharing. When you come in, let your comment flow as well. Let your comment flow. Feel free and get your comment across. Um, God bless you. Adele, God bless you. Rebecca, God bless you. Woman of God, Patrina, Tanisha, God bless you. Mamea, God bless you. If I see your comment, I will comment on it. God bless you. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. As we do always, if you've got any question, feel free, put it out there. Let's be as realistic as possible. I mean, as real as possible. Sorry, that's what I mean. I like questions that are real. So anything challenging, anything challenging. Nanefua, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. We're about to start. We've got a few minutes to start. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. As we do always, let's keep sharing. Tell and invite and share. Invite and share, invite and share. Tell someone, Jerome, God bless you, God bless you. This is wisdom for life. This is wisdom for life. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Okay, so we're going to start. So we've been looking at um, different ways of managing our finances, these different ways of making things count for us. Um, I'm hoping that we finish the financial side either today or next week, depending on what I'm able to cover. I mean, I'll make sure that anything that is not covered come back again. But I want to make wisdom for life more appealing. Basically, when you come on, you enjoy it. So we're going to be mixing it up. We're not going to bore you with one subject all the time. We'll mix it up. So feel free when you come in. Just get involved. Be very, very interactive as possible. Victor, God bless you. So let's continue to share. So today we're going to look at ways ways we can generate money. As I say always, this is just a disclaimer. We are not here to give financial advice. We are here to give information. So feel free to either use the information or not use it. It's entirely up to you. We are not advising you to use them, but if you want to use it, it might benefit you. So it's entirely up to everyone. So we're going to look at ways we can generate money, or how we can expand our income. Uh, what we need to understand in this life, when it comes to money, there's two things, or there's two principles you need to understand about money. There's two principles. One is either you are working for money, or two, either your money is working for you. It's one or the other. So it's either you are working for money or your money is working for you. None of them is bad. In fact, both of them we need. We need to work for our money, but it gets to a certain stage, we need to let our money work for us. It works like, having a child. When you have a child, you live your life for the child, or you live your life trying to support the child. A time will come, your child will support you once they grow a bit. I'm not even talking about when they are older. When your child is a toddler or a baby, you have to be doing everything for them. When they become teenagers, they will do a lot of things for you. You send them around and stuff. And if it gets to that stage and they are not doing that for you and you are still doing it, then there's a problem. So the same way, if you get to a certain stage in your career and you are still working for money, there's a problem. You can work for money all your life, but in all your life, let your money work for you as well, which is key. But ideally, what most people, successful people, do is that when they reach certain stage, they no longer work for money. They allow the money to work for them, which is something that is important that we understand. Now, when it comes to working for money, we all know what it means or how it's done. Our 9 to 5, our 2 to 11s, 3 to 12s, whatever shift you're doing, 7 to 7 night shift, you are working for money. So all you are doing is you are working to be paid. You are working to be paid by someone. So you're working for money. Um, but when it comes to money working for you, uh, it's what we call investment. Investment. So every single one of us need to invest in something. You need to invest in something, something that will grow for you, so that one day you wouldn't have to do anything. Your investment will speak for you. Now, the mistake or the misconception that most people have is that savings, they make savings with investment. Savings is not an investment. Savings is an investment for the bank, because it's the bank that invests your money and they make profit from your money, and they'll probably give you 0.1% a year, or 0.2, if you're lucky, 0.3%, which is like an ISA basically. But you are not allowing your money to work for you. Your money is just being kept so that you don't spend and so that you don't lose that money. That's not an investment. Investment is you putting money into something that will bring what we call a yield. A yield is a profit. A yield is a profit. When you go into an investment, what you are doing is that you are taking a risk to be able to get more, because in the financial sense, you have to risk to get a reward. Basically, the higher your risk, the higher your reward. The smaller your risk, the smaller your reward. That's how it works with finance. And none of them is bad. Whether you're taking small risk, big risk, medium size risk, any risk that you take, is important, because in this life, as is said often, um, not doing anything or not taking a risk in itself is a risk, because you can risk um, not either gaining something, losing opportunity. That's what we call opportunity cost. So the opportunity that you can make, if you're not able to make it, it's an opportunity cost, or you can risk even losing the little that you're trying to hold on to. So it's important that we take risk. And it's not just with finances, anything in life, you have to take risk, because once you take a risk, there's a reward. I mean, one time I had an investor asking me, it was a new investor, It says, why do you expect me to? Because in the world of finance, you have to, or investment, you have to explain everything to the client, the risk factor and everything, as per FCA regulation. So when I explained everything, he was like, why do you want me to take a risk? And I said, are you married? He said, yes. I said, did you know your wife before you married? He said, no. We met on a holiday, and we started talking and we married. I said, you could have married anyone into your home, someone who would have burned your house in the next day. It could be, it goes with men as well. You could marry a man who is a wife beater, everything, but you took a risk. And the reason why I'm bringing this is because I asked several questions, which I'm not going to go into. But we take risk based on certain factors or certain indicators, because you look at certain things that you like or certain things that make sense and you take risk. The same way you do it, meeting a partner, you look at certain things that convince you that this person might be good. You might not see everything, but it's a risk. It's a risk that um, could pay off or it might not pay off. If you marry from another tribe, another country, it's a risk. Different culture, you don't know how it's going to blend. You take a risk. The same way you can look at different investments from different fields, different places, but you look at things that you know is right, and you take that risk. Now, I'm going to come back to making investment plan. I'm going to come back to that. I'm not going to go into an investment plan because that in itself is a subject that one day I will teach a master class. Then people can join and they will do that. But that's not what I'm going into. I want to dig around so that if you're a newbie into investment, at least you can understand rather than throwing you into deep end. So let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's pause here for a bit and let's share. Whilst I look to see if there are any questions here, let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. So we're looking at generating wealth or generating finances, ways to tap into finances. Now, the biggest problem with most people, most investors, when I talk about investors, a lot of people, when you hear investors, people think about millionaires or people that have got, if I have so much money, I'm an investor. Everyone is an investor. You can invest into anything. You can invest your time, you can invest your resources. And I'm going to talk about a few things you can invest in, and you can make investment with. There are a lot of investments you can make with no capital, basically. People think you just have to have the capital to be able to invest. That's not true. So I'm going to touch on that. But the biggest mistake that most people or most investors make, God bless you, Mary, God bless you, Pastor Samuel, most people make is that we don't invest in ourselves or in our knowledge. You don't go into any investment without knowledge. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. I remember I was talking to this investor, and I was telling the investor to take a course which was worth 10,000. I mean, he was prepared to invest 100,000 into the financial market, but he had no knowledge. So I told him, I said, rather than invest 100,000, why don't you take 10,000 from that, leave 90,000, and invest that 10,000 in a course? He said, oh, but why should I invest in a course? So his mindset is how to make the money, how to get money. And to him, to take 10,000 out means he's lost money. But he doesn't understand that having the knowledge will ensure that that 90,000 will generate more profit than not having money and having a 100,000 capital, which he could end up rinsing everything off or losing everything. But we have this feeling that if we pay for something, we are losing. So even if I'm investing in books, I'm losing money. So people don't want to do that. They don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to invest in their knowledge. But knowledge is power. And I told him, I said, you're only investing 10% of what you have into your knowledge, and the 90% into your it's your risk, basically. Um, and when he heard that, it made a difference to him. And long story short, eventually he got better, and he was able to get a bit more from the investment, even though he was going to be guided. You don't buy property if you've not done research into it, if you've not invested time. You should be able to attend some property seminars. I'm not even There are a lot of free seminars you can attend. I'm not asking you to go for a paid seminar necessarily. Um, you can invest in time, researching online now. Even social media, YouTube. There are a lot of education going on, because if you have the knowledge, you will be able to handle the product or the service. The same way before today I'm going to use a lot of marriage. Maybe it's because we're going to be talking about it in some few weeks. But if you spend time investing your knowledge before you marry, when you marry, it becomes easier, because now you understand different things that can make your life easier than just going in there and hoping that it will work. And you don't know how communication works in relationship. You don't know how sharing finances work, or managing finances work in relationship. You've not had any formal education on that. You've not read books. You've not been to any seminar, and you go straight into it, you're in trouble. The people that do research into things, when they go into it, it's much more easier. Even with companies, if you're applying for a job, you have to do research on them. You have to have good knowledge for the interview. And even when you go in there, it helps. And the same way works with investment. People need to learn to invest in themselves, invest in the time, invest time into what they want to go into. So anything that you want to generate money out of it, you need to have some knowledge to be able to handle that. Otherwise, you'll be overwhelmed by that situation. You don't understand how people make profit from hair business, how people make profit from Airbnb. You don't know how people sort of like manage different things, and you just join them because you've seen other people making money from it. You'll be in trouble. So this is something that we need to try and avoid if we want to go in investment. Now, understand that in this life, there's two things you need to understand. Two things when it comes to wealth creation. When it comes to wealth creation, it's either you are buying or you are selling in this life. Any business expert or any investment expert will tell you, in life we are buying or we are selling. And there's two things you can buy or sell in this life. Today I'm going to be dealing with a lot of two things, even though it's wisdom for life. We're changing a bit. There's two things. It's either you are selling a product or you are selling a service. And today's services selling is going to be very key. If you don't have any product to sell and you don't have any service to sell, you cannot make money. Money or wealth is created when we sell. Wealth is created when we sell. Um, if you've got nothing to sell, you've got nothing to gain in life. You have to understand that. It takes people long. They make things complicated in this investment world. We are all selling something, and when it comes to selling, anything that you sell, you need to ensure that they have five key components. There's five places that if you find yourself in, when you are selling, it makes life very easy for you. It makes life very easy. It makes what you are selling easy. Um, and as I said, I'm going to touch on things that, how what we need to be selling, or what are the best areas to go into to sell. Not necessarily giving you specific things to do, but just giving you a bit of understanding. Let me just see. I'll just pause anytime I'm going to say something new, just to make sure I'm not missing anyone's question. Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth, for reiterating. So it's either you are buying or you're selling, and either you are selling a product or you are selling a service. Now, when it comes to product and service, uh, before I touch on those five key things, the easiest one, or the safest one that anyone can go into is service, basically. I'm not saying product is bad. The reason why I'm saying easier is because when you are selling a product, you need to acquire the product, you need to have the product, and the product has to be certain quality to be able to sell. You need to have a certain market to be able to sell the product, and products can 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 perish or can be destroyed, or it can maintain. So, by way of example, if I'm selling an egg, or if I'm selling, let's say, food, the food can go off. I'm selling something tangible, the egg can break. Um, I'm selling hair. It might not be that quality that you want. I need to acquire the hair to be able to sell it. So I need money to buy the hair and sell it. Whereas if I'm giving a service, maybe I massage people for money, I sing for people for money, I preach for people. It's a service for money. I do seminars for money. I don't need to buy any product. I can literally go into that business with zero capital. All I need to do is to educate myself, um, and for how long it takes, and start giving that service. So investing in service is often the simplest, the simplest way of generating money. Don't get me wrong. If you've got a product, um, it's easy for you to attract business because everything has got pros and cons. If I'm giving a service, they don't know how good my service is. They can't see anything. Someone has to recommend, or they have to take a risk to come. Whereas if I have a product that they want, they are not coming because of anyone's recommendation. They are coming because I'm selling laptops. I'm looking for laptop. I see a shop or online shop. I go there. So product is easy to attract people as well, but it involves money. So they all have pros and cons. Don't get me wrong. Every investment, there's no wrong or right, good or bad, when it comes to what we sell. It's just that what can easily be um, can easily be a startup is what I was looking at, or the point I was trying to make, that when it comes to service, it's easier, because if I've got a product, a house I'm renting or I'm selling, you may choose not to like it. It might be there for a very long time. My capital might be stuck in there. But at the same time, if it's something they like, it attract them, they buy it quickly. Whereas with service, I've got nothing that is going to be idle. So we need to understand. It's just to give you a bit of an idea. And as I always say to people, the best way is to combine both, because none of them is bad. If you have a product and you have a service and you are selling it together, it's good. It's good. Imagine you've got, um, let's say you've got Airbnb. It's a product, people have to come in. Then you've got a service where maybe you've got a restaurant there, or even restaurant is a product you're selling, but you've got something there that people can come in and you give them service. It combines, or it's both of them go hand in hand. So when you mix it, it really helps. Let's see if there's any question. Feel free. If you've just tuned in, this is Wisdom for Life, You Life with Prophet Emmanuel. We are dealing with how to generate wealth, how to generate wealth, how to generate wealth. If you've got any question, feel free and put it out there. If you've got any question, um, feel free. So, what do we invest? What do we invest? Some people will say you invest your surplus. Some people say you invest your income. Some people say you invest your savings. Some, there are so many things. Look, the simplest thing way to put it is that you invest money that you can afford to do without. That's how simple I put it. If I'm encouraging anyone to invest, it's money you can do without, because you don't want to invest with money that is needed now. Imagine your rent is due in 3 weeks, and you want to invest your rent, hoping to get money out of it. Um, it might be a problem, because your money could be tied, or you could lose that money. Investment, you can lose everything depending on the type of investment. There are low risk investments that has some secured returns, but the high risk one, um, you can lose it. So it has to be money that you can do without, not necessarily money that you want to lose, because that's a bad mindset as well. Other than that, you're not going to attach much seriousness to investment. But it's money that if you lose, it's not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. That's why you don't put all your eggs, as they say, in one basket. If you've got a savings of, let's say 50,000, you don't use all the 50,000 as an investment. Ideally, you don't want to be investing, um, unless, and again, as I said, it depends on the type of investment. Let's say if you want to invest in property, then you can literally empty your account if you want to, because it's something that it will be there, even though there's always a but there, because some people have invested in wrong properties. They've invested in wrong properties, and now they are struggling. And how do they invest in wrong property? Sometimes people look at how cheap the investment is. So I've seen a house. I'm not going to mention any area to sort of like bring anyone's investment down, but maybe let's say, um, um, Tree Avenue, city, basically. I'm just making anything up. You've seen a property that is going for 50,000, and it's so cheap for you. You feel like it's good. I'm going to put money in. You put money in that property, you can't rent that property out. Or even if you rent it, the rental is very low. There's a reason why the property was very low, because that area, no one likes it. So there has to be a balance. If you want to go into property investment where you are buying a property to rent it out, you have to look at an area where rental is very high, or people will go for that property. Other than that, you might get it cheap, but it wouldn't serve any purpose because your rent will be very, very low. So these are some of the things that we need to look at when we're investing. What can I get out of it? What is the return on my investment? Um, is very key. That's what in business we call ROI, return on investment. What is the return? Anything you put money in, you should be able to get out well. I often hear people say car is not an investment. I believe in the phrase that car is not an investment, but there's a way you can make money from cars as well. I remember years ago, I used to do it often. I used to buy cars. I buy very, very cheap cars, what most people call banga. I use it for 3, 4, 5 months, then I sell it because I'm not a dealer. And in most countries, if you are not buying more than 6 items, you're not a dealer. You don't pay tax on it. It's just you have every right to buy 4 cars and decide when to sell some, as long as you're going within the laws, basically. So I use the car. My intention is not to buy and sell. My intention is to drive a lot of cars within a short period of time. So I keep on changing cars. So let's say I buy a car for £800. I drive it for 3, 4 months, and I sell it for 1,002. But I make sure it's a good car at that cheap rate. So there are different sites. I don't look at one site, I look about 4 sites, get those cars, because those cars are easy to sell. Anyone can cough out 1,005 easily than a 20,000 car with finance, because if you get a car on finance, you can't even sell it anyway. The car does not belong to you until you pay for the car. So if I can spend £800 on my money on a car that is worth about 1,005, so I look at car range maybe between 1,005 and 2,000, and I bargain it. And there are ways you can go around it. I was buying cars from private people because dealers are smart, and dealers they will try and outsmart you. In investment, you have to understand that you can be outsmarted. People that think they are too smart, they fall short. So you have to act like you are the mercy of everyone, and you think that way. So if I go to private people, some of them are desperate. They are leaving the country. They need money to pay debt. They don't want the car anymore. They've seen a new car they want. So sometimes they want to sell it quickly. And like property, I'm going to come to the property side. You can use the same system. Sometimes I look at sites and I look at cars that have been advertised for more than 21 days. Um, that means no one is coming forward. Sometimes, if you're not careful, there could be a problem on the car. Obviously, you need to test properly. And whenever I'm going, I get my mechanic to come with me, so he tests it for me before I buy. But I check cars that have been advertised for a very long time, which means they are desperate to sell it. No one is coming forward. Um, Recently, I saw one he was selling for 2.5. I was able to bargain for 1.5, but I didn't buy it anyway. I wasn't too interested in traveling to go and pick that car, but he was desperate. He said they've changed the parking system in his area, so he needs to sell it. So I could have bought that car and sell it for 2 grand, make £500 profit. These are ways you can make small money. And that same system, you can use it with properties. You can find properties advertised for more than 30 days. Rental, no one is coming forward. You can reach out to the landlord, have an agreement with the landlord. You don't need to own that property. You can reach out to the landlord and say, especially if you've got a good site, a good social media. You don't even need a website. You need a good social media following, and you tell the landlord or landlady, I'm going to advertise on my social media, maybe Instagram. I've got 1,000 followers, 4,000 followers. I want to advertise it. If I get someone, you give me a percentage of that, or you can agree. Maybe the landlord initially wanted 1,000 for, you say, well, let's strike a deal. You get 1,002, I get 200, and you rent it out. So every month you get in £200 coming in without you owning the property, or you having to buy a property to rent it out. You've come in to help a desperate person, and you've got a cut from it. It works with land, it works with different places. Maybe where you are, people are selling lands and the land is not moving. You can approach the person and say, look, I'm going to use my internal network. If I bring people in, you give me a cut. These are ways that you can make secondary income. Secondary income. Most people need to think that way, of making what we call it passive income, or secondary income, ways that you can help people. I bring you customers, you give me a cut. Um, Even you can approach hotels that are not selling. Um, you see it's dry, people are not going there. You can strike a deal and say, look, I can bring my people. I've got friends that use this hotel or holiday resort. I don't need to own it. Airbnb. If I know anyone coming around that area, I can pass them on to you. How much commission can you give me? And you can make money from that without investing anything. That's why I was saying there are certain investments that you don't need to put in much money. Um, when you want to put money in investment, um, the two key investment that most people go in are property, which I've talked about, and the second one is shares, investing in shares. Um, I don't know whether I have frozen because I can't see the comment moving, unless we all enjoying and everyone has decided not to comment. But let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Today we are looking at generating income. So you can either go into property or you can go into stocks and shares. Now, if you have money for property, like I always say, is good. But the I mean, during the crunch, during the 2000 era, where there was a credit crunch, um, the pendulum swung a bit from stocks and it moved to property. So a lot of people were moving into property because properties are fixed assets. They are not variable asset. They are fixed asset. They are tangible assets. They are there. It's like even in investment, even in stocks and shares, most people like to when the market is bad, they like to invest in what they call safe havens. So the safe havens are more like the commodities, basically. They are quite safe. Um, and currencies. Some currencies are safe as well, like dollar. Some people invest in currencies, and they make money from currencies. You can make money from currencies. Um, you can make people don't even think about it. You can make money from currency. I'll give you way of example. Let's say you are from Nigeria. Let me give an example. And the naira has dropped. It's dropped significantly. Now the naira has no value. Um, what you can do is you can change the naira that you have into a foreign currency. The day that the value goes up, you exchange, you get more profit because the value can shoot up, and you when so whenever it's easy to buy the foreign currency, you buy them and you put it there, and when it drops, and the foreign currency gains value or it shoots up, the dollar now is very high compared to the naira. If you exchange the dollar into naira, you get a lot of naira than even the money that you put to exchange it. So these are small things you can do. You can always buy stuff, send it back home, and sell them. You can get, especially if you've got reliable people, you can make some small money from that. Because what is being sold here, maybe $5, might be sold, if you the equivalent, maybe you could buy a shoe for $5 or £5. That shoe is selling £15 in some part of the world. So if you do that, you've made $10, and it's a lot of money that you can accumulate over time. It becomes a lot of money. That's what I mean. So back to what I was saying. The property industry gained more grounds. People were moving money into that. Um, until the credit crunch went down a bit. So now the a lot of people have seen the value of the stock market. They've seen the value of the stock market, and it's becoming very big now. Um, the reason why most people go into the stock market versus any other investment is because the stock market present two ways of generating money. The stock market present two ways of generating money. Um, the first way is through dividend. So when we say dividend, dividend is the profit that companies make on their shares, and they give a fraction of that profit to the shareholders or investors, basically. So if Amazon makes profit, anyone that has invested in Amazon, they will give you something extra to say thank you. Basically, that's what we call dividend yield. So there could be dividend. Dividend gets paid sometimes quarterly or most often like yearly. Once they go through the financial books, if they see any profit, they share a fraction of that profit. Let's say 10% of that, 7% on that, on people that have bought shares with them. So dividend is one of the ways you can make money from your shares. And the second one is the yield of the shares, or the growth of your share, or what we call the share price. If the share price increases, you can make money. What am I saying? Maybe you bought Bitcoin for $200, and now there's been a spike. Maybe something is happening in China or America, because US is the biggest player economically. US is number one, and China is number two. So often in business, they say, or investment, they say when the US sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. So whatever happens in America affects the whole economy in the world. So if they say something that swings the pendulum, you see maybe your share price, you bought at $200, now the same Bitcoin or Litecoin is selling for $500. If you sell off that asset that you have, you make 300 profit. It's the same as remortgaging a house. You bought a house for $200,000. Now your value of the house is 350. You get the bank to remortgage. In other words, they bought back and they will sell it to you. So they will give you the new value, the difference between the old and the new. Then your new house price becomes everything. So if the difference is 150, that's what the bank will give you, which is the remortgaging. But the only thing about the shares is once you sell it, you can easily come in whenever. Whereas a house, you are now starting the whole process again, which I'm not saying is bad because you get big. Property can give you big return, but it's a slow profit generation, basically, because most people, even if you rent your house that you have for 1,500, your mortgage might be 1,000, you having 300. So all the money that you've put in the house, you're making 300 pound or dollars a month, while someone that has put share in can be making 500 or 1,000 pound a month without even holding any asset, because they are trading the assets on the financial market. So they are not holding the assets. Property, you can't do anything apart from maybe sell the property if you paid off the mortgage, unless your mortgage allows you to do that. Most of the time, you have to be able to own it to some point before you can sell it. Whereas an asset or stocks, you can sell it anytime. Obviously, you want to buy shares and leave it for a very long period of time. But if there's a yield, maybe after 3 months, 6 months, You can close your whole asset or your whole portfolio, or your position, as we often call it, and you can make every profit on top of your capital, and still wait till the market gets good, then you enter. Because the financial market, you buy when the market is low, and you sell when the market is high. Let me see if there's any. I'm going to be wrapping up now. Next week, I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to finish it off next week. So there's no question. So in terms of selling, I was saying that there's five key things that you need to understand, or position that you need to be in to be able to sell, or the things that you can sell, or how you can make selling work. Because as I said, we sell, either you are selling a product or you're selling a service. So number one rule of selling is you sell yourself. So it could be your knowledge, ability, your skill. You should be able to sell yourself. Even if you've got a product, anyone that has been a salesman before, you have to sell yourself. The one that you are speaking to has to know that I'm in safe hands, before people can buy things because of you. I remember when I was doing my driving lessons, one of the things that my instructor told me is that when the examiner sits in the car, the first 1 minute or between 1 to 5 minutes, he wants to feel relaxed. If you can let him stop watching you, and be doing his own thing, or stop watching the road or looking for where the brakes are, then you are 50% there in terms of passing. If they're sitting and they are nervous, then there's a problem. If people are nervous around you, people cannot gravitate to you. You are selling a product, anything, people are not sure of what you are doing. It's a problem. So you need to be able to sell yourself, sell your abilities, sell your skill. Is one of the strongest way to be able to generate money. If you can sell yourself, even if you're a preacher, even if you are this, people come to church because the way the pastor sells himself, it's not about being boastful. People think when we are saying that we're talking about pride, talk about yourself and stuff. No, it's how you carry yourself. It's how you go about things. Let people look at you and say, this person is legitimate. This person is good. Before they even think about the product. I went to this restaurant. I'm not talking about myself. I'm giving an example. And the way they served me, the customer service, they sold themselves. The food might be rubbish, but you can always sell. I always say a good salesman can easily sell a bad product. But a bad salesman will struggle to sell a good product. It's fact. I mean, I've been a salesperson before, so I understand how it works. If you are good, you can sell anything. So you should be able to sell yourself. Number two, people should be able to sell you, or sell your product. So the same way selling yourself could be selling your product. Number two, you have to have a product that people can sell for you without you saying anything. You have to have a service that people can sell. People will recommend that. People will talk about. If you want to generate wealth, you have to have something that people can sell for you. If they can't sell it, it's a problem, because people selling for you is increasing business that you cannot cover. You selling is not enough. You see big brand cars, they sell themselves. Recently, I was looking at cars and I saw a brand I've never heard before. I was speaking to my missus. I showed it to her. She said, which brand is that? I said, I don't even know. I'm seeing it for the first time. We couldn't sell that car to anyone, not even to ourselves. So it has to be, people need to sell for you. Is very key. Number three, you need to have a product that can enter into different homes or different markets. If your product cannot enter into, or your service cannot enter into different places, it's a problem. We've got social media. If what we are presenting is not applicable to someone in another country, then it's a problem. You cannot sell, you cannot go far with that. It has to be something that can push into different markets. Um, don't be surprised. No one is patronizing what you bought or what you are selling because it can't penetrate. There's no appealing. There's no demand for that. And next week I'm going to talk more about demand and supply. Demand for things. If you are selling anything, there has to be a demand. If there's no demand, then there's a big problem. There's a big gap. Um, number four, you want to be selling things, or you want to have a product that um, you want to have a product that can a product that can bring um, a product that I'm trying to find the right word, a product that will cost you less to either manufacture or to buy, and it will give you more return basically. And it's something that most people don't think about. You don't just buy anything. You need to make sure that whatever you are buying is very is below the average market value. Like I said, I will buy a car that I know is worth 1,500 for maybe 1,000 or less, so that if at least I sell it at market value, I still make profit. If you see a lot of clothes these days, the labels, you see that they've got made in like Asian countries. I'm not going to mention countries. I'm not here to publicize anyone. But you get maybe a big company in America that is producing all their products from maybe a third world country or in Asia. Why? All these things started with communication. They moved all the call centers to other parts of the world where labor is cheap. They are paying less staff. I mean, in terms of wages, they are paying less. Why? Because they want the production cost or the purchase cost to be less than um, what they would have done if they were doing it where they operate. So when they bring the product and they sell it, they're able to maximize profits. There are ways you can look at it. Imagine you are someone that sells fruit. Why don't you go to the market or farmers? In fact, not even the market. Go to the farmers where they bring it fresh and they sell it very cheap, and you bring it out. That's what most people do. Especially the Asian stores and stuff like that. They will go to places like Costco where water is, 40 bottles of water cost £4, and they'll put it in their shop and they will sell one bottle for 80p. If it's 40 for £4, it means one costs 10p. If they sell it 80p, which is the average water value, 80p, they are making 70p profit from it. If 70p, they sell 10, that's £7. If they sell 100, that's £70. They've made £70. They've not produced anything. They've just gone to buy from a very reasonable place, and they've made profit from that. So you need to make sure that the purchasing cost or the production cost is way below the normal price, so that you can be able to sell it easily. You can be able to sell it easily. I'm going to pause there. Next week I'm going to give the last one because of time. I'm going to pause there. I'm going to pause there. I'm not going to go into it. The last one, you need to be able to sell a product that even when you're sleeping is selling for you. This is no one selling for you. This is not you selling, but the product will just be selling for you. The product sells itself. Number one, I said you should be able to sell yourself. Number two, others will sell for you. Number five, the product should sell itself. People just know about the product and it sells itself. There's no recommendation, there's no marketing strategy. And hopefully, once you sit on those strategy, you'll be able to sell and generate extra income in life. I hope that this evening session has been very educative. Next week, I'm going to try and finish off the financial side. Then we will go into something, and as time permits or another opportunity opens up, we'll go a bit into different dimensions of making money work for you in your home. Um, Hopefully, we'll come to a place where we can be more aware of what is around us, we'll be more wise, and be able to put things into practice. Um, it's very, very practical. Um, if you keep on doing something over and over again, you gain the wisdom to be able to administer it very easily. So it's my hope that we can take something from what has been said, and we can build on that. Until I see you again, this is Prophet Emmanuel, and this is Wisdom for Life. Remain blessed.